Lastly, we have Mr. Rajendran Dandapani, the Director of Engineering Zoho. Sir is going to talk about what a modern high-tech industry wants from a modern high-tech institute.
Thank you for inviting me here. I'm here to talk to you about my experience at Zoho, the people I have worked with, the people I have interviewed, and most of them come from colleges. And what it is we actually look for in these people, beyond technologies, beyond the basic core skill set, what we actually want from you all. So let's get started. I am from Zoho. We are proud to be made in India, made for the world. I'll cut short the Zoho introduction and jump right in. So what do we actually look for? That's the question I want to answer to you. But before we get there, I will tell you how we look for people today. The talent game has changed. Hunting for talent, it has changed. In fact, this auntie is the lady we are all afraid of. Most college kids, boys, are afraid of this auntie because she's the mother of that beautiful girl next door. And this guy has been doing electronics like this. And auntie calls and says, hey, washing machine work pannalada, alladhu fuse poittra, can you help me? And this guy is not going to be able to do that because context is still missing in most college education. We don't have that the boy is still sleeping on paper while things are actually happening in 3 dimensions. At the company's side, once upon a time, questions used to be asked like this, right? So Google was famous for asking questions like in interviews, how many golf balls can you fill into a Boeing 747? Think about it, yeah? Or how many petrol bunks are there in the city of New York or city of Chennai? You're supposed to put some analytical and out-of-the-box thinking into this and come up with answers. And there is actually a book by this name, How Do You Move Mount Fuji? Microsoft is famous for coming up with questions like this. Yeah, at one level it is interesting, it's puzzling, it tries to understand whether you can think out of the box. But beyond that, when you start asking questions like these, people start printing books like these, right? Cracking the coding interview. Huh? Trimmed haircut, clean shave, what kind of strength to give in your shake, in your handshake, how to feel confident, formal dressing, correct body posture. It's gamed. The system is gamed. Once upon a time, questions used to be asked like this. I think, unfortunately, even today, interviews happen like this, right? For a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Sounds right at one level. All of you take the same exam. Climb that tree. That's what will happen. How will that goldfish climb? What will the elephant do? There is a penguin there. There is a seal. The panel discussion a little while earlier was talking about companies should understand that each student has potential, has a different kind of potential. Amazing point was made then. So the talent game used to be like this, but things are changing. In fact, at Zoho, we have done this experiment for a very long time. 2 guys, Tom and Jerry. One of them does 3 levels of testing, 4 levels of interviews spread across a week. The other meets the person over coffee, puts the person at ease, goes by a gut feel. Who do you think has 60% success rate? What I mean by success rate is 3-4 years into the company, has that person been productive for the company? Has that person become happy for having had a good career? And who do you think has 62%? The question here is, whatever you do, the success rate hovers around 60. So why bother about a formal 3 tests, 4 interviews, 7 days workshop for interviewing a person? And this is something we keep seeing often. There are these top performers at college, first ranker, 100% attendance, all grades, S grade, and so on, who do very well at work. But the data is all over the place. There are people who do very well at school and college, miserably fail when they enter a company. Because they don't know what it is to collaborate. அவனுக்கு தெரிஞ்சதெல்லாம் competing தான். கூட இருக்கிறவனோடையும் compete பண்ணா அந்த கம்பெனியோட எப்படி சண்டை போடுறது? That's the problem, right? At the same time, yeah, seriously. At the same time, we also see non-achievers at work, non-achievers at college come and blossom, bloom when they enter a company. This morning I was at a college for a convocation ceremony and they were asking, sir, Zoho Kepa sir varvinga recruitment ku appdin. I told them, before you invite us, send us your smart students in the last bench appdin sonna. That is our formula. Send us those rebels without a cause, looking for a cause, eyes closed, dreaming about their future, not totally bored about what's happening in this lecture, but having a vision, having a dream, waiting for that spark. அந்த பசங்களை எங்களுக்கு அனுப்புங்க முதல்ல அப்படின்னு நான் கேட்டேன். Because we see this all the time. And we have understood that interviews lie. Because interviews are just snapshots of who the person can be. Right? So if a person comes and says, I am a great coder, we do not put that person in a room and say, no internet connection, 3 hours, 4 problems. 4 problems. Solve these 4 problems in these 3 hours, because companies don't work like that. No programmer worth his or her salt works without an internet connection. Command tab போட்டு ஏதாவது பார்த்துட்டே தான் இருக்கணும். So if you cannot, so why create an artificial environment and test a person in that environment? Forever in life, after entering the company, that environment is not going to be simulated again. A girl comes and says, I am a creative writer. Immediately we don't say, okay, here is a topic. Hey, something is happening to this. Here is a topic, write an essay, create a marketing campaign, 2 hours time. That is not the way creative people work. That is not the way they work. They work better on Saturdays and Sundays actually. So instead what we say, Nijamave, are you passionate about writing? Show me rhyming poems you have written in class 8. Show me your school essay. Show me letters you have written. Show me your pictures. Because if you are really passionate about something, we will have a movie of your life. Facebook irukku, Medium irukku, ethaniyo blog engines irukku, ellam free. Show me that movie of your life. I don't want to see fabricated, photoshopped images of who you think you want me to think you to be. That's wrong. Yeah? So, in the chapter over, the talent hunt has changed. Let's all understand that once and for all. So, what to focus on? As academicians, as students, I see some of you here. What should we focus on? What should we tell our children, our class students to actually focus on? I have some 7 points. I'll quickly run through them. Encourage scratching that itch, right? I call that solving a personal problem. இந்த மாதிரி யோசிச்சா உடனே எய்ட்ஸுக்கு வேக்சின் கண்டுபிடிக்கிறேன், மலேரியாவுக்கு கியூர் கண்டுபிடிக்கிறேன், குளோபல் வார்மிங் சொல்யூஷன் கண்டுபிடிக்கிறேன்னு போகாதீங்க. அதுக்கெல்லாம் ஆளுங்க இருக்காங்க. But what you need to do is look around you. Look inside you. There will be that personal problem. Nobody else is going to help you solve it. There is this famous scene in Jungle Book. அந்த காலத்து வீடியோ இது. So அதுக்கு அரிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சதுன்னா அதுவா போய் தான் சொரிஞ்சுக்க முடியும். You cannot ask somebody to do it for you. Right? You cannot stop until that's done. ரெண்டாவது point, you won't stop until that arip is gone. And you will do anything. அது பாருங்க மரத்தையே பிச்சிடுச்சு. I have seen people take a knife to their back. Right? I've seen people go to a wall and scratch. They'll do anything. So look for encouraging, scratching that personal itch. அவனுக்கு ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கும், அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கும். Identify that. When you identify that, you don't need any extrinsic motivation. பணம் கொடுக்க வேணாம், மார்க் கொடுக்க வேணாம், ப்ராஜெக்ட் ரிப்போர்ட் கொடுக்க வேணாம், டிகிரி கொடுக்க வேணாம், கிரேட்ஸ் கொடுக்க வேணாம். பர்சனல் ப்ராப்ளமை சால்வ் பண்றதுக்கு கரெக்டான என்கரேஜ்மெண்ட் கொடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னா ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கலி இன்னோவேஷன் அண்ட் கிரியேட்டிவிட்டி வில் ஃப்ளோ. பாருங்க தலைக்குப்புற போயிடுச்சு மரம். And finally, it is happy. The second thing I want to encourage you all to do with your students, should I talk to you as students or should I talk to you as academicians who work with students? I'll talk to both then. So what you need to do is provide the right kind of protection. And if you are a student, what you need to cultivate is the right kind of protection. Because idan protection நினைக்கிறோம். Facing the world அப்படின்னா இரும்பில் பண்ணின unbreakable, uncrackable, totally strong armor அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறோம். Actually, this might be good enough for a school or a college. But when you really step out into the big bad world, this is a liability. This will slow you down. No iron armor can withstand what can hit you the first day at work. What you need to cultivate instead is this resilience. That's actually a slow motion of a softball being hit by a bat. Look at the amount of crush it's going through. And microseconds later, it's going to go for a 6, equivalent of a home run. Right? So can you bounce back? The question is not, can you withstand everything? The question is, having been beaten, screwed to death, can you bounce back? So teach students to embrace failure, take risks, make mistakes, and teach them how to pick a few things and bounce back. Japanese la oru proverb irukum. What is success? Abdina, falling down 7 times, getting up 8 times. Oh, beautiful. What do you think? Falling down 7 times, getting up 8 is success. Success is not falling down at all. Right? So cultivate that and teach the right kind of protection. There is a movie called Matrix. And the Matrix movie la, na paathirukingla? Ivar dhaan Neo, hero. This guy says to the lady here, can you fly the thing? Abdina kekrar. Ena he's going to escape on a helicopter and he doesn't know how to fly it. He asks that lady who is with him, Trinity in and the lady ki. Yeah. Can you fly that thing? Abdin kekrar. And the lady solra, no nu sollala. Not yet nu solra. Why? This is the future, probably 5G reality, where at that moment, technology is there, where how to fly a helicopter lesson is transferred in microseconds to this lady's brain, like this. Come, let's go. Yes, science fiction, but we are getting there. With Khan Academy, with flipped classrooms, with YouTube, with TEDx, with TED, there is so much bite-sized learning out there. First of all, there is too much to learn. எல்லாத்தையும் படிச்சு முடிச்சிட்டு வேலை ஆரம்பிக்கணும்னு நினைக்காதீங்க. அது கிடையாது முதல்ல. There is too much out there. Our data ஓட explosion சொன்ன மாதிரி. So what you need to cultivate is pull over push. Do not push all content summarily in some protocol manner and expect the student to learn. Instead, teach the person how to ask the right questions and pull when they want the answers, because that is going to be the future of all learning. It's going to be bite-sized learning relevant to that particular moment. You pull when you want it. Can you fly that thing? No, not yet. இதுவரை எனக்கு தெரியாது. இதோ பொறுங்கள், இதோ வருகிறேன். That is the aspect that I want you all to cultivate to your students. Give compasses, not maps. Most of us seem to be steeped in the old world approach of there is only one way to do things and that's the right way. Anything else is a failure. Even projects are done like that, by the way. Projects are not maker projects where the kids explore without knowing an endpoint. Projects are, an endpoint is declared, all of you move towards that endpoint. Any movement away from that endpoint is not good. That is the mentality we need to lose. Because what students need, what we need to empower them with, is not a map of how the land lies. Because the land is constantly changing. The moment you print a map and hand it over, the structure has already changed. How will that person really go? What you need to give them is a compass instead. நீ எங்க இருக்கிறாய், எங்கு செல்ல ஆசைப்படுகிறாய், is that direction. Let the student find it by himself or herself where they want to go. Because, see, there is this famous story of a road in the jungle, right? ஏதோ வருதா புயல் அடிச்சிச்சு, மரம் விழுந்துச்சு. கொஞ்ச நாள்லயே, because of the vitality of the jungle, leaves fall, slowly the road vanishes. This is the highly trafficked road through the jungle, but the road vanishes. There's a tree. No car can go through. So what do the teachers, what do the oldies, what do the wise people, so-called wise people in that area say? இந்த மலையிலேருந்து இப்படி வலது பக்கம் இறங்கி 4 கிலோமீட்டர் சைடில் போய் தண்ணி ஒன்று கிராஸ் பண்ணி திருப்பி அந்த பக்கம் 7 கிலோமீட்டர் ஏறி அப்படிதாங்க போனோம், இனிமே இதுதான் ரூட் அப்படின்னு ஆரம்பிக்கிறார் ஒருத்தர். ஒரு பெருசு ஆரம்பிக்குது. அதுக்கப்புறத்துலேருந்து ஃபார் எவர் வாட் ஹேப்பன்ஸ்? blindly people, in a few days the road vanishes because no traffic, the road vanishes. But just underneath that 1 centimeter of greenery, that beautiful road still exists. You need the hacker mentality. What does the hacker do? This is what he does. He creates a road. Yeah? So, student ஓட interact பண்ணும்போது இதை செய் என்று கூறி நிறுத்திக் கொள்ளுங்கள், இப்படி செய் என்று கூறாதீர்கள். Yeah? Tell them what to do. Tell them what to do. Let them surprise the hell out of you by showing you how to do it. Right? Please remember that. Stress practice over theory. சின்ன வயசு பக்கம் அப்படியே யோசிச்சு பாருங்க. What is one skill you still remember from school days? Don't tell me integral calculus. Yeah. Tell me one skill you remember from school days. இப்போ என்ன தூக்கத்திலேருந்து எழுப்பி இதை பண்ணு அப்படின்னு சொன்னா கூட உடனே பண்ண முடியும் என்னால. 25 years I haven't done it அப்படின்னா கூட உடனே செய்ய. Can I talk in Tamil occasionally? Yeah? No? No. Sorry guys, sorry. So if you wake me up 25 years later, I haven't done it even once, but still I will instantly be able to pick it up. அப்படிங்கிற like that, which skill would you point out? Cycling. Right? How many of you agree? Cycle, give me a cycle, I will immediately start pedaling. But my question to you is this how you learned cycling? Location, book, you read a book. Go flat, smooth, comfortable, low traffic area, please identify. Remember to push in the backward direction. Always keep your eye ahead, straight, do not look down. Use a clockwise rotative motion on that wheel. Is this how you learnt it? Or is this how you learnt it? There was this dad or uncle who was behind you. There were these extra wheels. They gave us total confidence, and we started pedaling, and it seemed easy. We started pedaling faster. We thought dad was behind us holding on, and then we look around, we turn back, he's far away waving his hand. We got so angry. But we learnt a skill. Is this how we learnt it? Yes. So, stress practice over theory, particularly the huge crime of teaching computer science in a classroom. Please don't do it. Right? Computers are supposed to be taught by hacking, breaking, cracking, and fighting with that green screen. Do not ask people to write code on paper. That is not the way computer science is to be taught. Aristotle has said, this is not modern, okay? This is not a modern thought. Aristotle has said, what we have to learn to do, we learn by doing, right? We don't need to argue with this man, right? He has too much hair on his head anyway. Help discover passion, right? Encourage people. Passion, in my view, is what you do on Saturdays and Sundays, not the 5 days of the week, right? So, you work, you go to classroom, you do project and all that, you have some extrinsic motivation. For something, you do all this. But there is this inner itch, like I told you earlier, that something that wants to come out. It could be a musical, it could be a poem, it could be a sculpture you want to do on chalk. It could be an article you want to write and publish. It could be code you want to write. It could be a logo you want to design. But it has to be intrinsic. Something that bothers you so much that you don't get sleep, and you bring that out of you. You become the vehicle for its expression. That is passion. Very often we make this mistake. Okay, for example, my sister was so passionate about eating ice creams, she wanted to be a professional ice cream tester or ice cream eater in her life. I remember in the flat area where we were living in as a kid, the largest, the most noisy, the monstrous vehicle I used to see was that Kuppavandi, Onyx, right? One button and this thing tips over, everything opens up, so robotic. I want to be Kuppavandi driver, was what, that used to be my passion, right? So passions change along the way. So encourage people to truly identify that passion, because this mistake Maniratnam gave us, okay? What did he do? He said, you are a nice little college guy and she is a nice little medical student, and you will be going by train, and you will by chance be in this side looking out through the window, and she will be at that moment, same moment, simultaneously going in the other train, and she will look, eyes will meet, and forever you will be in love. Right? Movies, it's okay. Probably it's okay for the movies. But this is not how passion operates in the real life. Because passion follows this cycle. You like something, you hence do it a little more, and having done that a little more, you get better at it. And this cycle continues 4 or 5 times. You like it, you do it, you get better, and hence you like it more until you start loving it. This is the cycle of passion. Passion is not instantaneous. Don't think you can stumble and fall and find out your life's passion. So similarly, academicians ensure that the children that we are entrusted with find the right kind of passion. This 5 whys is an interesting question that people ask us to ask, right? We are struggling to get one why from our students, right? And if somebody asks why, we say, meet me after class. Yeah? So instead, what I want you to encourage is asking 5 whys. Because they say, theoretically, philosophically, when you do that 5 whys, you get to the real answer, the real root cause, the real problem. There was this monument in America, Lincoln Memorial, which had the stone deteriorating. So if the person in charge of the monument wanted to repair it, he would have said, okay, fix all the stones that are broken. Instead, he asked why they were deteriorating. Then they learned it was because of the harsh chemicals they were throwing onto the walls almost every week. Okay, stop throwing chemicals nu sollala. Why are we throwing chemicals? Was the question they asked next. Why are you throwing high-powered washing chemicals? Oh, there are bird droppings on all the stones. They look ugly. So we need to clean the bird shit, and hence we are throwing chemicals. Okay, why is there bird droppings? Oh, there are so many spiders in these walls, and birds come to eat those spiders. This is a real story, guys. Happened in the 1990s. Okay, why are there spiders? Why are there so many spiders? There are a lot of insects that come in the evening, and to catch those insects, there are these spiders, for which the birds come and do the dropping, and hence we need chemicals. Okay, why are there insects? The last why. Then they found out the real reason. In the evenings, these lights were lighting up that memorial in the evenings. Soon after the sunset, all these insects thought this was the sun and started going around these lights, and hence the question of 5 whys brought them to the correct answer, which is change the lighting pattern. Wait for an hour and a half before switching on the lights, so that right? Do not switch on immediately. Wait for an hour so that the insects will go to the next door and all that, right? So the question of 5 whys is strongly encouraged. So whenever you meet something, whenever you have a student, encourage why And in fact, George Bernard Shaw went even further. He said, encourage why not? Encourage why not? Whyங்கிறத விட why not அப்படின்னு encourage பண்ணுங்க. Final point, change the focus. Mahabharata taught us, do not look at the tree, do not look at the bird sitting on the tree, do not look at the face of the bird sitting on the tree, only look at the little eye of the bird. That is focus. My opinion, my personal opinion, you need not agree to it. I don't think this works in the modern world. First of all, we are extremely distracted. WhatsApp and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and live streaming and photography and too many distractions, first of all. But beyond that, there is some value in focusing on the periphery. A lot of innovation, a lot of interesting discoveries have happened, not because a person focused directly on the problem, but because the person took some time off, jumped out, and started focusing on the periphery. Is there something I can do that can have an indirect impact on the problem that we are going to focus on? So 2 examples, one famous CEO, Steve Jobs. Yeah, he was a great technologist, a great marketing person, but you know what really helped him? Too many books have been written about it. What really helped him was the college course, not the proper college course he took. He bunked some college courses and attended something else instead. He learned calligraphy, right? So from that seed came the Macintosh computer, which had the first non-green fonts, which had the first beautiful as a word ascribed to a computer, right? So that's a great periphery focus. What is the direct relationship to what I'm doing? That's why he said you can only connect the dots backwards. So do not, let me show you one more CEO. This is my CEO, Sridhar Vembu. And the greatest appreciation he has received inside the company and outside are because what he says he learned by pursuing Buddhism, by understanding that as a religion, and what he can take from that and apply it to the concept of economics and business. That there is a middle path, there is no extremities, that there are some things called undecidables, suffering is inevitable, right? So these are the things he says he learned. So all I am encouraging you to do is, do not be too narrowly focused on a one-track world. It is colleges and academic institutions that bring this artificial division between electronics and electrical communication engineering and electrical and instrumentation engineering. Come on, yeah. Come out into the world and you will know that only multicultural and multidisciplinary work matters. So please encourage your students to step out of the department, make friends, take courses, read books, do projects, and that will really help them in the long run. And I would like to close with a shloka that I stumbled upon very recently. It talks about learning, and learning as divided into 4 quarters. The first quarter is Sanskrit. I'll translate it for you. The first quarter of learning, Acharyat Padamadatte. That is, from your guru, by your teacher, you get the first quarter of learning. You learn what you need to do. Padam Sishya Swamedaya. The second quarter is Swamedaya, self-intelligence. Shishya, the student, just because of his or her motivation, interest, and drive, completes the second quarter of learning. Padida mudinjirukku. Only half is complete. So you get the second quarter by self-learning and self-motivation. Sabbrahmacharibhya padam. The third quarter is from the guy next to you, the girl next to you, the other students who are pursuing the same course, the colleagues, the classmates, the other students in the class. They will give you the third quarter of education. Great, but the punch comes in the fourth quarter, the disappointing punch. Padam kalakramenacha, the final quarter, you will learn, you can learn, you must learn only kalakramena, kalapokil. As you get older, as you make mistakes, as you stumble and fall and get up, as you get cheated, as your trust is lost, as you learn that the world doesn't care about you, those are your learnings for the final quarter. So basically, the final quarter message is lifelong learning. I'm sorry, you are all cursed into living in this new world where you cannot finish education, get into career, finish career, come back home with a mala and a golden watch, take your remote, sit back and enjoy Tamil TV. That world is gone. The world you are getting into, is a world of lifelong learning. So I don't want to waste any more time. Thank you.